until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I'll say that again. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akyea, Edumasa. And I say thank God it's Monday. Another Monday, another opinion. Welcome to the finest ritual on radio, a ritual I call That's My Opinion. Every Monday at this time, only on Joy 99.7. And our topic today, Akyea nanso emmui. Akyea nanso emmui. Say sene abebu bia. It is bent but not broken, the most significant of all the proverbs. It is bent but not broken, the most significant of all proverbs. Let's gather and make truth good. Folks, we are still in the Ghana month. The Ghana month mode. By far, probably it's my favorite month for more reasons than the other. A month where we go the extra mile to be Ghanaians. Oh yes, we go that extra mile, deliberately become Ghanaians. Newscasters on TV, on radio, the newspapers. I mean, everything to do. Sometimes even in churches, there's a Sunday where, you must come to church as a Ghanaian. I mean, it's literally compulsory to be a Ghanaian. Yes, we go the extra mile to be a Ghanaian on this month. And as ridiculous as it may sound, I say we should go the extra mile to be Ghanaians all year long. But I know I sound like a joke when I say that. I know I sound like a joke when I say that. Because we haven't been programmed to accept ourselves to that extent. This is just sympathetic. This is just celebratory. This is like a tokenism of being Ghanaians. But from January to December, if we were to put in all this effort to being Ghanaians, that we will find hard to conceive. We will really, really find it hard. After the month of March, we shall fall back into our usual hope mode. Yeah, we will hope that the average citizen will be a good Ghanaian citizen who loves her nation, who is proud, projects and protects, who does not need to be policed to behave themselves. We expect that this person should love and be patriotic to the nation after the month is gone. The act of intention, the act of deliberately imbibing, teaching, making sure that this child, citizen of the land, knows, understands the reasons why he or she is Ghanaian, is left to hope. And generally, we leave all these things to hope. We don't put enough intention and deliberacy behind it. Folks, once again, and for the 100th times maybe, there is a lot of wisdom in our ancestry. As ridiculous as, as we ridicule them, Bejimi Bre, I mean, we castigate our ancestry as if they were literally mad in some asylum. Folks, we talk about our ancestry and sometimes we don't even make reference to them. We'll be talking about something really important, and we'll have to go into the Western world to pick up someone. So we'll be talking about governance. And we'll go all the way to Greek to find somebody who wrote something about democracy. And we'll leave out Okomfo. We will not even touch Okomfo with the barge pole. And yet we were talking about governance. And even though it's live and present and current day, the Ashanti kingdom as it is today, the Akwamu kingdom as it was rising, there stood Okomfo who orchestrated the governance structure. And yet, you cannot go into, I don't know, I've not done governance to that level, but if some of you guys who do politics, I'm wondering if there's any chapter on Okomfo, because whatever it is that he wrote back then, it still stands today and still works today. Indeed, the whole of Africa, the whole of the world. When you're talking about a traditional kingdom that is standing the test of time in these modern times, you can't leave the kingdoms that Okomfo created. But like I said, they usually don't come in our radar. There's a lot of wisdom in our ancestry, folks. Titi wubitre. The past has a lot to teach us, folks, and most importantly, our morals. Our morals are derived from our ancestry. Not in the classroom, not in religious books. Your morals are derived from your ancestry. And so the more we throw away our ancestry and pack children into classrooms, into science labs, and bury them in religious books, hoping that they will come out being good, stand back and look at the generation and the society who have derived their morals from classrooms and from religious books. And you wonder, what happened? Corruption, cheating. I mean, one time, one of the most ridiculous ones was an examination that was cancelled because there was so much teaching. And you know what they were doing? Moral and religious studies. The children who were going to write moral and religious studies cheated so much that the whole paper had to be cancelled. Folks, we should not be afraid to dig deep into our ancestry and get our wisdoms and our morals from there. No matter how modern the world has been, we cannot leave that foundation out. We must build on those foundations. And so I went back to find these very important pearls of wisdom that says, Akyea nso emmui esni abebu nyinaa. It's bent, but not broken. And it's the most significant program that once there's life, once the world has not stopped spinning on its axis, once the world has not ended, then we should not lose hope. Folks, because after all, what is the use of a citizen in a country who has lost hope? What will be their contribution to that country? If the youth of a country have lost hope, what is their use to that country? What will be their use? I was speaking to a son of mine who is a seaman, and he said they got to Nigeria and the ship was supposed to go to America from Nigeria or whatever it is. But I think somehow they brought another ship from America to meet them. I mean, there was something, but whatever it is, that ship didn't go to America anymore. It ended up in Ghana. And on the rudder, on top of the propeller, on the rudder, were some people, were some young men who had their food and their bags sat on the rudder in the sea, hoping that the ship would go to America, so they hop off. Talk about lost hope. Now, if they knew that Akyea and emmui, if they knew that it was only bent, it's just a bend in the road and not the end of the road, why would one sit on a rudder of a ship on top of the propeller all the way to Ghana? Now here they were so upset. They were absolutely so upset that the ship came to Ghana and didn't go to Nigeria, but they got apprehended. It's not broken, folks. It's only bent. Folks, as we celebrate Ghana Month, we should talk about our foods. And the other day, they was listening to it and they were talking so much about gari and beans, gobe, so much that I had to go and buy some of it. They were embellishing this food and gari and beans and gobe and this and that. I said, no, we should talk about our festivals. If we're good enough, sometimes we get people to give you the reason why the festival came about. And, the history behind it is so beautiful. We'll talk about our history and our migration, our foods and the names we gave to them and how it came about, which is all absolutely edifying to our soul. But can't we also go a step further to find solutions in our current predicaments from our past? Can we take it a step further so that we don't just make it cosmetic, just a cosmetic something, an hour on this, or just showcase, the whole Ghanaian thing becomes a showcase. No. Can't we take it a step further? That if truly we will find wisdom there and we'll find our morals there, can we find solutions to our current predicaments from our past? Can we find hope? Can we find fortitude? Can we find the spirit of never again? So that we don't live through misfortunes and live through the same misfortune and live through it again. Can we find shame? Can we find integrity? Can we find decency? People are making literally a career out of insulting everybody. How can that be Ghanaian? That a young man gets a microphone, gets a channel, and literally makes a living by insulting anybody at all on the radar. But that is worrying. And again, do you blame the young man? We go and we click and we share and we click and we share. So basically, we have created a market for it. So as we sit here and point a finger at the guy behind the mic for insulting, how about those who are listening and creating the market for us? Those of us who are listening and sharing. When did the Ghanaian who was so afraid of shame, who would die for integrity, now become somebody who makes a living out of insults and still gets a good market? So as we celebrate Ghana Month, folks, can we dig a bit deeper and see how we can get solutions to things like these? I don't know if I'm being an idealist, but after all, it's Ghana Month. And we're trying to find Ghana and Ghanaians. We're trying to be Ghanaians. And I'm saying being Ghanaian does not mean just eating kenke, wearing a piece of cloth, then somebody beating a drum for 5 minutes. No. Being Ghanaian is decency. Being Ghanaian is abhorring impunity. Being Ghanaian is being afraid of shame. You protect your name. Being Ghanaian is having fortitude. Ghanaian is having fortitude. Being Ghanaian is reaching out to a neighbor. So that's Ghanaian. If you don't help your neighbor to achieve, you are also not going to achieve. Being Ghanaian is being a little less competitive and more helpful. Being Ghanaian is being a bit less competitive and more helpful. You see, that's the DNA of being Ghanaian. And I think those are the things that we seem to be missing. We're okay with the fanfare bit. Put a bit of beautiful kente cloth, adorn yourself with everything. But the DNA itself, we are losing. The cosmetic part, we seem to be, we're okay with the cosmetics. But the DNA, folks, that one person would live for the other. That one person doesn't get up to want to change the whole world, but everybody changes him or herself so that the community becomes a peaceful place to live. That our names become important and we guard and protect our names. We live so that even in our death, people will still name their children after us. That even when we are dead and gone, people will still give birth and say, no, I still need to name my son or my daughter Ziggy, because of the life that Ziggy lived. Is so beautiful. The footsteps he's left, the people he touched. I still name my children after somebody even when they're dead. So what happened? So what happened? Now I wonder that if I were to make, a living out of insults, get up, this big chief, put a big chief down, dress him from head to toe, put the president down, dress him head to toe, put some, people who have achieved way more than yourself and probably people in your family, because you have a mic, you dress them down. I'm wondering, such a person, will somebody ever say, oh, I'm giving birth to my child and I want to name me after this person because he was so abusive? But I'm saying that's who the Ghanaian was. And that's how come, even though it's so bent, not broken, bent, we still have something that nobody has. Country with the most women entrepreneurs in the whole world. Country with the most women entrepreneurs in the whole world. Country ranks so high in peace and safety. Country runs so high in seamless integration. Christians, Muslims, Northerners, Eastern, Volta, Ashanti, seamless. So in spite of all the bent, because of that DNA that we inherited, because of that foundation that we inherited, we have messed it up so bad, but still it's holding us together. It is still holding us together. So that I am a Southerner. Should I today meet the paramount chief from the north, I may not understand his language, I may not understand his culture, but the fact that this person is a paramount chief, I will accord him every respect and honor there is that I can. Why? Because he's a senior chief. And that's who we are. I can't say, oh, well, he's not in my jurisdiction. Hey, what are you talking about? That is what was bequeathed to us. I didn't learn that in the classroom. I didn't read that in the book. This is wisdom passed down from ancestry. So So as we are doing this Ghana month, maybe we can't do it for the year long. But is there any way that those who are in charge of arts and culture, those of us who are in the media, would skip the cosmetics and try and stoke a bit of the DNA? Who knows? Maybe we shall get 1 or 2 Ghanaians out of it. And it's 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. Akyea su emmui. So that somewhere, somehow, let us find hope and soldier on. Let us find the hope to soldier on, because the world is still spinning on its axis. Godson Tenge is in Ajay Kotoku. Hello, Godson.
Hello, Nana.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
birthday to you, Nana.
Thank you very much.
The Lord bless and increase you greatly.
Amen.
May He keep you with us so that you can teach us more and inspire even generations after us. Nana, it's bent, but it's not broken or it's not poured away. It's just bent a little. See, looking at, let's say, Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 16, the Bible says that this is what the Lord says. Stand at the crossroads and look. Ask for the ancient path. Ask where the good way is and walk in it, and you will find rest for your souls.
Amen.
So, even God is encouraging us to look for our ancient path. Let's understand where we have come from. Let's look for the ways of our great-grandparents and walk in them, and say that when we do that, we will find rest. Instead of going to jump on somebody's own that we don't even understand it, let's find our own. When we do so, we will find rest. We will find solution to our problems. Nana, where I come from, the chicken does not have disregard for its coop. When the chicken goes and roams about picking food at wherever, in the evening, they come back into their hen coop, that small place, they come back into it. We go somewhere and we want to take other people's own and let it override our own. And I think that is part of the reasons why we are not making the progress we expect ourselves to be making. Thank you very much, Nana. And once again, happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Godson. Loyal listener, Moro Al Hassan, North. Hello, Moro.
Hello. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening. What's it, North Kanishi?
No, from Pandai.
Man, let me hear you. Very good.
Northern region, yes.
Good. Let me hear you.
How do you do?
I'm very well. Yourself?
I'm confused.
Let me hear your confusion.
Yes, the topic you have brought is interesting. But it clearly tells us that we are in a confused state. Religion has come, and we thought it was coming to correct the situation. it has come to worsen our situation. And as at now, there is no hope in sight. That is why I'm saying we are confused. Because the most corrupt people in institutions, departments, and in government are the religious people. Can you hear me, Nana?
I can hear you, but it's too much of a blanket statement. I mean, not all of them, maybe some.
When you say some, who doesn't go to church or go to the mosques?
To the mosques. We all go, don't we?
We do. And they are the people who are corrupt. Unless you are able to tell me that there are other religious groups.
No. I'm saying that there may be people. There are people in churches and mosques who are not corrupt. Yeah.
I think there will be less than 1%.
Well, they're still there.
Because even the collections that are taken from those institutions, they are not accounted for. We are told they are going to give it to God. We don't know what time God receives them. And nobody accounts for them. It's like you have to bribe God before you can go to heaven. And the religious leaders are supposed to collect the money on behalf of God and tell him that they have collected it, so you have a pass mark to go to heaven.
Thank you very much, Moro. Thank you very much. 0302216541. Paying your way to heaven. That's a whole subject on its own. But today we are just talking about Ghana Month. And I say that, apart from Ghana Month, I have my own reasons why I love this month. I'm also saying that we've done the cosmetic part of being Ghanaian. We've done it well. The cosmetic parts, the show. Fran Toma, you watch the presenters would all dress as Ghanaians and everything, and they'll bring people who cook food. Some of the foods are, foods that maybe some we've even stopped eating. They'll bring it's all beautiful. We'll talk about our history, it's beautiful. But I'm saying the DNA part, folks, the DNA part of being a Ghanaian. Maybe it's time to now focus. Let me go to Ntomim because Stephen is there. Hello, Steve.
Yeah, hello, Nana.
Let me hear you.
I think this is an intriguing topic. However, it gives hope. Maybe we may think there is hope, but it's just bent but not broken. But Nana, I think being Ghanaian is mindset. It begins with mindset. So it's all about getting back on taking care of our common heritage, being smart enough for the next person, looking for others. So I think basically that's mindset.
Well, I agree with you. And that's what I'm trying to say, that maybe instead of us focusing too much, it's not wrong, but too much on the cosmetic side, i.e., washe cabernet slate, or Fran Toma, washe togas, washe batakari, so we are projecting all that. The mindset bit, maybe we are not doing well enough on the mindset bit. Your character, your behavior, your attitude towards people. Maybe as we are going on, we should also look at that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what you think.
And that's what I think about. I think it's all about the mindset. We have to be ethical enough. We have to be compassionate. We have to have some empathy. You don't really act competitive, but as you said, we have to be a more of a helpful mindset so that we see the next person as ourselves. And it's not all about the wearing of the clothes, the eating of the Ghanaian food and stuff. So basically, I agree with you. I share in your point that it's all about mindset.
And I thank you very much for calling. Thank you so much. Nana Kwame is in Community 2. Hello, Nana Kwame. Community 26. Kwame Wadaruma.
With the Nana. And Nami Bisa say, okay, let me speak English. So because your listeners are English.
Yes.
You put up a very great argument. But you would also agree with me that it is the cosmetics that leads us to the why.
Okay.
So whatever we are doing now is extremely important, but it is that will trigger why, and it is the why that will lead to the explanation of which you are interested in projecting now.
Okay.
I hope you get the point I'm making. So I know you are not faulting the cosmetics, but it is important that we continue like this so that the generations who don't know the food would ask, when do we do this? At what point did we lose this? Oh, this one actually tastes good. Oh, I actually like this one. Who are those who? And it will lead to so many things you have absolutely no idea. Intimidate. The American say, me your chin.
Okay.
The American say, I say you kosuna ye, net sese de ye na. Nimum, I say a trassi. Sebeya, it's the man be nintia ye. Me da say, Nana, with them, Manato.
So, can I let me engage you, Kakra?
Meet
you see, I also think that the cosmetic and the DNA, they don't link so much in terms of, let's say, like in Dumasai say kukunteni nkatinkwa is what we but sir, you know, obo udin huban sir udi onidie emma epenyin. If I project my kukunte and everything, I don't know how that links to protecting my name, because media also food be the mame.
Nana we the Mr. Yes, me chawano. No. Dimwara. Ye ni say. We uka ukum kasanti misu make Ye ni say. Fane say yania kokonte no ye ribedi.
Yo.
Ansa na kolade ne nsa betu ayiwa no ma oni panyin bedidi no.
So corona za.
Amane anase senkyerani bi wo hɔ ayeye ansa na ye. Untimi nka eso kwa wo kro nsa. Yo, oti ase adenti ne ye wo sa nyema ni nyina ka ho. So to the mechanism. Nina kahuna edit the why, sorry, again, your listeners are English. It all adds up to ask why, and it is those little things, and excuse my French, those little things that will lead to the broader aspects. For now, if you start telling the story of why we eat nkonkonte, or what is kongonte and cutting kwang, then nobody would want to even hear. I'll put the food there. Oh, you know what? A pork is eaten on very ceremonial occasions. And I'm with young people or friend Akyea is made of beans.
Okay.
Now me call me Madam Fubifi. Now me say Nancy Munya no say dang na okay. Akyea ye need basabasa. Yes, and then the explanation is given.
Okay.
You see, so it would help, and it's one of the pathways to understanding why we do this, and the DNA aspect would unravel itself in the process.
Thank you.
But also in the mechanism,
what Papa. We go all the way to USA because Kwabena is there. Hello, Ojam.
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good to hear from you.
Always good to hear from you, my brother.
Yeah, I joined the program late, but let me make it quickly. Let me make it fast. I heard something about in CIA, like it's not broken, but it can be fixed. And I also heard about mindset. instead of the aesthetics, like what we wear, what we eat, and all that stuff. Am I on the right path?
You're on the right path. I'm saying that during the Ghana month, we project more the aesthetics. But I was thinking that it's good, but we should add more the DNA, i.e., a Ghanaian who's ashamed of, fear of shame, protect your name, honor to elders, and the way you speak. That's intricacy that makes us Ghanaians.
It's true. Nana, when we were growing up in the 80s and 90s, there was this communal relationships. We learned from each other. Our parents trained us well. They, like you said, they inculcated all these values into us. At that time, you remember the social services. The social services were good. When our friends faltered, their parents had help. They could send them to the Bostal Institute, and after a few months, when they come home, they would have changed. Nowadays, it's not there, right? Nowadays, this current crop of people who go into government, they don't have the kind of mindset and values of our previous leaders. So it's very difficult to demand so much from this current generation when they are not receiving anything. They are not receiving anything from the government. Now look at, like you said, all these governments, they all get these largesse. Parliamentarians cannot even sacrifice. They want more raises, more salaries. So how do you expect the ordinary Ghanaian to be able to acquire all the kind of things that you want them to have that sort of passion, like the guy was talking about? Ghanaians should be passionate, but is the state passionate? Now, when you fall sick, would there be an ambulance that will come to your house and pick you up and send you to the emergency room for you to be treated, and then you pay later? It doesn't exist. So we, like you said, we need to get back to where it started. And like JFK also said, don't ask what your nation can do for you, but what you can do for your nation. But before he did that, he already provided a lot of services to the American people, right? He's just asking them to give a little bit. But in Ghana, the state doesn't give anything. So how do you expect the ordinary person to give out his best?
Thank you very much, Governor. Thank you so much. Laboni and Kofi is there. Hello, Kofi.
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Last 3 weeks, I traveled to Hawaii, passed through your hometown.
I see.
I was like, hey, this place, I have to visit. Anyway, Nana.
Yeah. Oh, Kofi, you need to reposition yourself.
Oh, I hope you. Am I better?
I think, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so you see, I'm going to mention towns first. Nima, Sherman, or wherever. So let's speak.
Kofi, Kofi, your reception. I really wanted to hear your contribution, but your reception. Nana Kwesi is in Medina. Hello, Nana Kwesi.
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
So practically, time call. So let's be a little practical. So Nana Ansah Kwao, you are older than I am. My dad is almost 80. So even if my dad is older than you, you are older than I am. But it doesn't make me a child either, right?
No.
So Nana Ansah Kwao, if you happen to offend me, would you apologize?
Yes.
Of course, you will apologize. But our practice is such that okay, and for a very long time, when there's an issue between two people, younger and older, the elderly person always seems to be right. And that's what was practiced. We've gotten to the point where Nana, if you step on my toe, I'll call you out. It doesn't matter whether you are older than me or not. I will call you out. And they don't like that. My dad, like I said, it's not like insult. I'll let you know that, no, what you did to me wasn't right. But they don't like that.
No, that opinion in your bonnet is corrupted. It's that you can't reprimand your father the same. Assuming your father stepped on your toe and your daughter stepped on your toe, the reprimand will be different. Say, oh, that. So who say me now wait here? But you can tell Abena say, hey, Abena when you about who say me nice you. You know, so it's the same. It's the same, but the tones change. Yes, opinion bonnet, but the reprimanding are different.
But Nana, if we don't, but you see, I hardly hear them let the elderly person know that one any year. Like I said, my dad is almost 80. See, this man and the wife, sometimes we have a conversation, and maybe sometimes they say, your baby saying, he can call you, she can call and say, hey, I do wait them, I do say, as a man, you wait them, watch me. Do you understand? Sometimes we have conversations with them, and you get other people from around who are around, and we are having conversations. We the children, we are disagreeing, and they look at us like, who are you? How dare you disagree with your parents? Hey, you see, there was when you only parents, but you see, the people that we are engaging, they understand that their children are no more babies. They are adults who have sense. So when we are talking to them, it's no more a command like they are some babies. We are dialoguing, and we see how best fit we move forward from both ends. And people around, they don't understand this, Nana. So this whole thing, so I understand you perfectly. How now people have lost this whole respecting and all that. But if you feel what we are going for, I think we should get to the point where we understand that, look, we can all step on each other's toes. And now your opinion, so now Tia Colabina, sir. My name will say, oh, 1 year, and say you. Okay? Nasa Aqualan so who Nasa Cata say, Eja, Nasa Anna, I do me 1 year. Don't go gambling and make it look like Aqualan in Boade, because a lot of the time that's what I get myself. When you why the fan I am a bonena make that way the 1 year crowd or show minister be in the people around. They'll tell you, hey, what do you want?
Nana Kwao, thank you very much. First of all, let me say thank you to First American Specialist Medical Center. First American Specialist Medical Center. On the 1st of May, they're coming to Dumasa for a medical outreach. Those of us not in Accra also need some posh, medical health care. And that's exactly what we're going to get. So on behalf of my people, I say thank you to First American Specialist Medical Center. Say thank you very much to Nana Ansah Kwao for my present. But he's been properly branding me now. I'm completely a Dumasa branded. I had a big surprise. To our international producers, Maribel, Oliver, and Ziggy. They will produce you if you are alive, no matter the location. Kofi Hayford is on standby. Came to work with Enyonyam, the princess. Daddy's girl. Michael's going to give you your news bulletin. Don't touch that dial. As for me, God willing, and he has already willed, Monday we'll be back to do this all over again.